5.5 million copies worldwide. The simple question, why is that?
Why? I don't know, I wish I could answer it. Well, I've been travelling a lot. People think that I'm Swedish, and then they think I'm French. And sometimes I get caught out because they realise I can't actually speak the language. So maybe it has something to do with maybe people think I'm from their hometown. When I was in France, they started asking me French questions on a live TV show. Yeah, it was like a nice political show, you know. And it was really serious. They were all really serious, and they started asking me things in French. So I've decided to learn French so I don't get myself into trouble. I don't know. Maybe I'm a kind of.
With your first album, what is going to happen next?
I have no idea. That's the beautiful thing though, isn't it? You know, I think if you knew what was coming, you'd be bored because you'd already expect it. I had no real expectations for the kind of success of myself, really, because I was really happy with the music. I decided a long time ago to give myself a little bit of a break, you know? So what if I'm not going to tick all the boxes that I wanted to tick, as long as I was happy with the music? And I think that's the first place really to concentrate on, and then everything else is like a bonus, because you can't control everything, although you can try. I try.
When are we going to hear a new album from you?
I don't know, but I think it definitely will play a big part in my perception, in people's perception of me as an artist, you know. If I make a record in another year, then, you know, I don't really know. I guess it just has to be ready. When the music's ready and I feel like I'm really happy with it, and that I feel as though I've moved on, because, you know, when I started writing the first record I was just 19, and now I'm 25, so it definitely would have to reflect a different part of my growth. So, we'll see really. I have no idea right now.
Soul music is very big at the time in the world. You are a very good example from it. Why do you think? Why people love soul music?
I don't really know about soul music, to be honest. I just think it's an honesty. I think maybe like 25 years ago, 50 years ago, soul was like a genre. You know, it came from the church. People used to sell their souls at the crossroads so they could play the blues guitar or something. And now I just think it's about honesty. We've come so far in music, you know, in the last 50 years. That soul music is something you can't quite explain now, you know. After Elvis took it to a kind of a white place, and then the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin and, you know, so many bands. And still today, you know, you could argue that Radiohead is soulful. I think it's become really a vague description in music. But, so sorry, I didn't know if that answered your question.
Do you consider yourself as a soul singer?
I think there's elements of it, you know. I don't think I'm a pop singer. So I guess you could call me that. I think it's just about being honest, I suppose.
I bet you love soul music. What's the beauty in it?
That's not a thunderstorm, that's my stomach rumbling. That's embarrassing. You won't please don't put that in.
Of course not.
What's the beauty in soul music? Well, the soul music that I listen to is about 40 years old, so I can say it's soul music, you know? Whereas today, things that I like that are slightly soulful, I couldn't begin to explain what elements of it that I like, because it's just kind of, I guess it's a bit confusing really, but when you talk about specific soul artists, I like things like Sam Cooke and that sort of era really, because it was so important in history. You listen to those songs and it's like going back in time. It explains so much about culture, about the, I don't know, the social dynamic of the way that they used to live. It was really tough in those times. I can't begin to even imagine what it was like, but it was a very segregated time and you could really hear the angst. So maybe soul music is a sense of angst that came from being segregated, that came from the churches and a kind of sense of redemption. Maybe that's it. Maybe we've just discovered it. Maybe I've just made like a new thing with myself where I think I'm starting to understand what soul music is. And I think it's an element of desperation, you know. When Sam Cooke wrote A Change Is Gonna Come, I mean, probably the most important song in history, really, because they really needed this change, you know, politically and everything. I don't really understand. I don't even know about politics, to be honest, but I know that there's something about that song that is truly magnificent.